Now
Okay.
there are going to be lots of debates now.
Now we
Let's
are
get on
going
to the
to
men era.
Main
now we
era.
move on to what I refer to as, in my opinion, the greatest decade of the Premier League. This is
Without a
when
doubt.
this is when we had the most fun. This is when football wasn't robotic. This is when we had so many great flair players. At the same time, you had some amazing defenders. This is probably when the golden generation of England sort of came to the fore. You had some great talent coming in from the outside. You had one, I don't know if you guys remember, there was this number seven who used to play for United in the 2000s. I think he went on to have a half decent career. So this is
Michael
when,
Owen?
oh yeah, sure.
In this
Sure.
decade, way,
Yeah.
Best decade of the Premier League, hands down. You guys agree?
without a doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, the fun it was, even though I didn't see, I think Liverpool still won some trophies, but I still think entertainment wise and what football used to be wise, yeah, there's no competition. It was the best decade.
The decade of Jose Mourinho,
Yeah,
the decade
especially
of
fun.
Wenger with their weekly bars and taunts. Also before
Mm.
we move on to players, the decade when Ferguson was almost very close to leaving United in 2002, or was it three? Who was
Two,
supposed to
one, two.
replace Marcelo Lippi, or I don't remember whom. I think someone was going to replace him. But
I think United would also approached Sven Goran Eriksson
Sven,
and
sorry, not Lippi. My bad. Sven, you're right.
Yeah.
What would have been? What would have been?
yeah.
But Abhishek, let's start with you. Of the backline, goalie, 2000s.
Oh, Peter Cech, no doubt for me.
No
Peter
doubt.
Cech is in my opinion, the top three goalkeepers in the Premier League of all time. And I would put him about Michael as well. Like only because we were talking about Michael. I would say Peter Cech was, signings that make a difference to and Chelsea at that point. Actually, you know what? Chelsea had a really good goalkeeper, Carlo Cudicini. He was an amazing goalkeeper, but Peter Cech
Listen,
and is just was another level during for those I think 5 or 6 years. Unbelievable. He's the one of the greatest goalkeepers I've ever watched.
Fair shout.
I know what you two are going to say.
Mangesh?
I know both of your answers already.
no, actually, I agree with Abhishek.
No,
I would put
actually,
Peter
no.
Cech ahead of. Yeah,
Me too. Honestly,
yeah.
I'd go with Peter
I
Cech.
would- yeah, I would put Peter Cech ahead of Van der Sar, without a doubt. But then,
But
That's
also,
but just
surprising. I
imagine,
thought you would both say
at the
Van
same
der Sar.
time, just imagine Peter Cech playing now and Van der Sar playing now. Who would you rate? Who would you rate more?
I would still go Peter Cech. Peter Cech could do everything. He was good with his feet. He had great. His reflexes were great. He was a very good goalkeeper. Like what is it that was a flaw in Peter Cech as a goalkeeper during that time? He was
Uh,
good with his feet. He was a very good passer of the ball as well.
no, but see,
okay. Hmm.
I have a different opinion. I think what a goalkeeper could do is also defined by what the team was doing at that point. So it's very difficult to. So it's like me saying this, right? Like if you put Peter Cech in United and if you put Van der Sar in that Chelsea, neither would have worked because Cech, the kind of goalkeeper that Cech was, probably suited Jose and what he was trying to do when you had Carvalho and you had Terry and you had Gallas, a
Yeah.
different kind of a defense. Whereas Van der Sar, look at the way United sort of pressed. Look at the amount of ball that that United had back in the day. Look at the way United's fullbacks operated. Look at the way United's midfield was at that point in time, right? So when you play with the security of Claude Makelele at six, and you have Carvalho and John Terry, and then you have Wayne Bridge and you have Paulo Ferreira, that's a very different style of playing. United didn't have a Makelele. And that has some sort of a ripple effect on even the way. So people say that Van der Sar, Van der Sar wasn't really good with his feet. Van der Sar didn't need to be good with his feet. United weren't a team that had somebody sitting in the middle of the park that's going to do what Perlo did or anything of that sort. But all Van der Sar had to do was either launch the ball up front because you had two pacey wingers who were going to go for runs, or he just had to roll the ball down to a Rio Ferdinand who could play 60-yard passes with his slippers. So they're very different goalkeepers. Both were great shot stoppers, but all of the other skills, I would say it was horses for courses. It wasn't something which, ye kar sakta to wo nahi kar sakta. I don't think so.
But I would argue Van der Sar was excellent with his feet. So that's the reason he was your favorite manager's favorite goalkeeper. He was Van der Sar's favorite goalkeeper.
I'm just giving an example. As in,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
something you want to.
So but yeah, fair shout. I think Peter Cech ahead of Van der Sar, without a doubt.
I would put that too. Also, given the longevity, because
Yeah.
remember, Cech did a
Yeah.
big stint at Chelsea. He was there with Arsenal for a little bit. So, and doing all of that with that crazy head injury, very
Yeah.
wore that little Red Riding Hood wala hat all the time. So, that I got to give him some credit for that as well.
Makes sense.
Oh, you know what? I have an outside shout for the best goalkeeper of the 2000s. And this is actually, I'm being serious again. It's Shea Given.
Good shout. I have a good shout too.
He was an outstanding goalkeeper.
Oh, he was.
Brad
No,
Friedel?
sorry, go on.
Yeah.
No. Are you about to say Brad Friedel?
I am about to say Brad Friedel. Brad
Yeah.
Friedel at Blackburn suddenly turned into prime Lev Yashin for no reason when he was facing United.
Always.
Hey, but okay, one more. Sorry, I know I'm jumping in a little bit, but and it hates me to say this, but when you talk about keepers that could pass, Pepe Reina could pass.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he could do.
Excellent with his feet.
Yeah, he could do.
He was a
he
good
was
goalkeeper. Okay.
no, he was a
He
good
was a
goalkeeper.
really good goalkeeper.
He was a really good goalkeeper, but sorry, go on.
No. I was about to say. So there are stories of United players laughing at Pepe Reina in the training sessions. They just did not rate him at all. Ferguson did not rate him. United players did not rate him. So yeah,
But
it's just,
I thought he was a good passer. I don't think he was a great shot stopper, but that's just my opinion. But I think in terms of passing, right? I think because he came in from Spain, he was not at all scared to use his feet. Like,
he was from Barca, La Masia, right?
was it Lamas? Yeah. Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Maybe.
I remember him from his time at Valencia with Rafa. But
Yeah.
he was a very good passer of though. Very good passer.
Yeah, definitely.
And Shea Given
I
is
think
a
short stopping. Yeah, short stopper. I think Shea Given. I remember Liverpool played Newcastle and we beat them 5-0, and the man of the match was Shea Given because that game we absolutely hammered them. Like after the first goal went in, right? Then it's like the floodgates opened, and then eventually Newcastle lost. But he was insane. Like probably one of the only matches where I've seen a team get beaten 5-0, and still the goalkeeper has got the man of the match.
See, I remember one Arsenal Newcastle game, and the final score was just, I think, 1-0. But Arsenal had like 25 shots on target. And Shea Given said every shot. He Henry was frustrated in that game. He could not just get past it.
Let's not forget, he was playing behind a defense of Titus Bramble, Celestine Babayaro, Steven Taylor, Stephen
Taylor,
Carr.
Yeah.
That is what he was. That is the levels at which he was playing. So
Jonathan Woodgate.
Jonathan, oh my god, Jonathan Woodgate.
Yeah.
Again from the Middlesbrough school of shit defenders with gate at the end of their name.
Good one. Yeah.
I'm very surprised we are getting so much consensus so far. When are the arguments going to come in?
Yeah. Now.
Now, because now we are at defenders and midfielders, which is going to be a shitstorm. So everybody, please strap in.
Yeah.
Okay, defenders, Abhishek.
Greatest defender of 2000. John Terry.
Fair shot.
John Terry. Although I was tempted to say Ashley Cole as well. Because Ashley Cole was an outstanding left back.
Yeah.
But then I guess I think before I say Ashley Cole, I would be forced to say those two from United. But I would still go with John Terry.
Yeah, it's going to be one of two, and I think you've covered one. Mangesh covered the other one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Rio Ferdinand, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah. For me,
Again, see, I talk about players who were ahead of his time. Rio was ahead of his time, and that too coming from West Ham Academy. Of course, West Ham had a wonderful academy. They had Carrick, Joe Cole, some fantastic players. But I thought
Mm.
Rio's reading of the game was excellent. And Premier League had so many brilliant defenders in that era. And let's not forget, Jamie Carragher was a
Mm.
fantastic defender. He was a fantastic defender. You had Ricardo
Most
Carvalho, you had Vidic.
people laugh at him because of all the fun that he makes of himself now, but he was a really good
Yeah,
defender.
yeah, he was a very good
700
defender,
games. You
no
don't
doubt
play
about it.
700 games for
Yeah.
yeah. You don't play 700 games for Liverpool if you are not a good defender.
if
Yeah,
Rio and John Terry weren't British, that guy would have had 100 England caps. No doubt about it.
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
You also had Ledley King.
Although yeah, we had Sammy Upia.
Sami
Sami
Hupia,
Hupia.
Sammy Upia
Sami
was
was
a great
excellent.
defender.
he was
Yeah,
a
he was
great
excellent.
defender with
Yeah.
probably the greatest nickname anyone has ever created, the Tower of Power.
Abhishek used to write that on Orkut. I remember that. The Tower of Power. Yeah.
Yeah, and then a certain friend of ours who used to he used to try and tell me that some of the I don't know who from United, what defenders, but some of the uh, shitty defenders from United are better than Sammy Upia because they've won more titles. One of our good
I,
friends from where is
Let's
he?
not
He in
talk
Australia,
people like last time,
I think
Abhishek.
so. Yeah.
Let's not give out let's not give out
let's
details.
let's let's stop. Yeah. Let's not do that.
Abhishek was one step short of just giving the passport number and go after these.
Oh God. But you also have, if you want to talk about fullbacks, Gary Neville was excellent. Ashley Cole was excellent.
Mm,
Patrice Evra
mm.
was fantastic.
Yep.
I don't think his. I mean, Ashley Cole was a better than Evra defensively, but while going forward, I think Evra was fantastic.
Not even some of the, it was also an era where some of the, for the lack of a better word, smaller clubs. So I think one name you mentioned was what do you call it? Ledley King. Arsenal, I'm not going to Arsenal a small club. This is separate to it,
Yeah.
but Arsenal had Sol Campbell. Arsenal had Kolo Toure. Kolo Toure, as unhinged as he was in his later days, he was a man mountain at Arsenal when they went into. But even the smaller clubs, like if you like Jonathan Woodgate at his time, he was touted to be like this next big thing. You had Ledley King, who was absolutely brilliant. You had even back then, I remember Steven Taylor when he came in at Newcastle. He was like,
Yep.
"Oh, he's going to be the next this and the next that and all of that." So I think that was also it was a great era where defense was appreciated
Yeah.
and wanted people who were just literally going to defend. Like you weren't talking about a defender purely in terms of can he pass the ball, is he good with both feet, can he receive the ball under pressure. No, you were looking at a defender. Can he fucking head the ball? Can he clear the ball? Can he tackle? Can he intercept? That's it.
And I would say I'm surprised Abhishek did not mention Agar. I thought Agar was an excellent player.
Great passer. You're on mute, huh, Abhishek? Okay. I thought, yeah, Agar I thought great with his left foot. He had a brilliant left
Yeah, yeah.
foot, ping the
Straight
ball
left.
in a million different directions. Who else? Are we missing any big players? Or Spurs? Everton, what? Everton had Alan Stubbs. Who else are we missing? I'm pretty
I
sure
was
we're
trying to
missing
think of. Yeah, I think we are missing someone. Yeah.
कौन था? Yeah, we didn't speak of Vidic. Vidic again, I think what the problem is, honestly, I've thought about this a lot. We focus so much on Rio and John Terry, we forget their partners as if they
Yeah.
weren't contributing to the whole event. We don't talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Carvalho or Vidic as much as we talk
Yeah.
about Rio and John Terry.
Yeah.
Like John Terry wouldn't have been able to do half the things he did if he didn't have Ricardo Carvalho, playing like a bloody Rolls Royce next to him.
True,
Rio
true.
wouldn't have been able to play like a Rolls Royce if he didn't have that battering ram called Nemanja Vidic standing next to him.
No, no.
If I were to give honorable mentions, I'd give it to Ricardo Carvalho, who was so good. He was so bloody good. He was so
He was
quick.
world class.
World class. Undoubted. He was quick. He was aggressive. He could play well with both feet. everything, and Vidic was just Vidic, right? Vidic was just blood, guts, and thunder all over the pitch.
Complete, total blood and thunder defender.
Like literally, I looked at him and I always thought he's like, he seemed like one of those, you see those nature documentaries and you see those panthers and jaguars in the jungle who before you know it, someone has just suddenly jumped and just put his head against, somewhere or whatever. So that level of aggression, the level at which he played, Vida, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
No doubt. He was absolutely brilliant. I'm trying to think of any other defender from, suppose it's smaller teams, but
Everton, Bola, Spurs, Newcastle. Newcastle didn't really have great defenders back in that time. I mean, they had John Allen, Boomsong, and there's some pretty shit. Celestin Babayaro, and all those guys. Who else? What club are we missing? Are we missing a club? Have we not discussed a certain club? I think we got through most, right?
Yeah, most. I think we are.
We also had. There's another friend of ours who we won't name, who apparently for 6 weeks was a Wigan fan. And we had Pascal Chimbonda. As someone he once mentioned he thinks Pascal Chimbonda is going to be the greatest fullback in the world or something. That did happen, unsurprisingly. But
we haven't even mentioned Flanu.
Who wasn't Flanu 2010s though? I thought he was 2010s.
No, let's ask Abhishek.